between the Chicago Bulls and the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are being introduced now before a capacity crowd here at the Coliseum of 20,000 plus.
Number 4, Ron Harper. At guard, number 25, Mark Reese. And at center, number 43, Greg Daugerthy. Assistant coach Dick Helm, Brian Winters.
The winner of this game will advance to the Eastern Conference Semifinals and will begin against the New York Knickerbockers this coming week. The Milwaukee Bucks won on the road and will now face the defending conference champion, the Detroit Pistons, as the action heats up in the NBA playoffs. And hello again, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton along with Hubie Brown. The pictures and the sounds tell it all of a deciding game. And Hubie Brown, let me ask you what it means to you to go into a decisive game in which one team goes home and the other goes on.
Well, a lot of pressure on the people because the coaches are emphasizing no easy baskets today. That means down the lane, you got to shot block everything and also force them to get on a foul line and make their foul shots.
Quickly, one key for each team.
Well, I think with Cleveland, they must get Harper out in the open floor so that Jordan will chase him and get a little fatigue. With Chicago, Hodges and Pippen, three-point range, so that the other people can work in the painted area.
Our third member of our team is James Brown. JB, let's go to you now.
All right, Dick, as far as injuries are concerned with both teams, not a factor at all. Chicago's trainer said the team is completely healthy. As far as Cleveland is concerned, Craig Elo with ankle and Mark Price with the groin injuries, both said they can play with the pain at this point, and they are as healthy as they've ever been in the playoffs. Let's go back over to Dick.
All right, JP, thank you very much. And here are the lineups. Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, Bill Cartwright, Michael Jordan, and Craig Hodges for the Chicago Bulls. Larry Nance, John Williams starts his second game at forward. Brad Daugherty is the center. And Mark Price and Ron Harper in the backcourt. And we're underway. Cleveland has it. The officials working today, three highly experienced officials, Jack Madden, Jake O'Donnell, and Hugh Evans.
I look to go to Daugherty. They must get him going early in the ball game. Not only is he the premier scorer, but he's also their best passer.
John Williams. This is the first shot of the game, and Price keeps it alive. Continuing the trend of Game 4, Cleveland getting just about all the loose balls. Ron Harper.
We should be looking for Michael Jordan to be catching the basketball with many opportunities at the top of the circle.
Scottie Pippen going to the hoop and is fouled. This is the way the series has gone. Only 3 points separate the two clubs. Chicago has outscored Cleveland by 3, and a dramatic Game 4 overtime affair when Michael Jordan, after a sensational 50-point effort, missed a free throw that would have given Chicago a 3-point lead, and Daugherty made 2 key free throws down the stretch with 4 seconds to go in regulation. And Cleveland won in overtime. Doug Collins telling his man Pippen to settle down. Scottie Pippen has been the second leading scorer for the Bulls. His best game was the opener. He missed them both. Daugherty the rebound. Long pass to Nance, who got hot the last 2 games against the Chicago Bulls, and illegal defense called against the Bulls.
Well, they caught the Bulls that time in something looked like a matchup zone press that time. 3 guys were caught away from the block.
So Hodges is guarding Price. Hodges has to watch out for foul trouble. The Bulls need his 3-point shooting, and he has gotten into foul trouble more often than not in this series. Harper has hit his first 2 shots. So Michael Jordan is the point guard. He's going to try to set up other people. But basically for the Bulls, it's been a one-man gang offensively.
They're playing 2 men now, Jordan and Cartwright.
Cartwright scores. And one thing Doug Collins said to get more points from other people was to get the ball into Bill Cartwright.
Well, in Game 1 in this building, Dick, in the 3rd quarter, when Chicago opened it up, Michael Jordan only scored 2 points in that entire 3rd quarter.
12 on the shot clock. Williams starting his 2nd game. Mike Sanders had started every game prior to this one, prior to the last one. Nance with a 2nd effort. So Cleveland with the 2nd shots. Chicago cannot allow the Cavaliers to get 2nd shots today if they hope to win. Pippen with a good fake on Nance. but a wild shot.
Cleveland would like to have Pippen shoot as much as possible off the dribble. They feel he's a much better field goal percentage guy when he's standing still.
Here's Cartwright again with a familiar shot, and Bill Cartwright, getting off early, has scored the 4 Chicago points. Nance working against Pippen.
That's a tough cover right there.
Rebound by Grant, out ahead, an easy 2 points for Craig Hodges. But you're right, Hubie Brown, because one advantage that Lenny Wilkens feels he has is Nance against Scottie Pippen, and that's the big switch by putting Williams in there. Pippen has to guard Nance.
Well, he likes Nance as one of his prime-time scores, but also because if you just in that last possession, Nance gets on the offensive board, and Pippen has done a poor job in the series in keeping this man out of it.
A turnover, an errant pass by Williams, and now Chicago with a 6-6 game and a foul called against the Cavaliers. It'll be their second, and the foul against Mark Price. Well, here's a guy who has been courageous here. He has had a groin injury, did not play in the first game of the series, and has not shot well until the last half of the last game, and then he started to get hot. He is the best and maybe only solid outside shooter the Cavaliers have. Cartwright goes flying, no foul, good defense inside by the Cavaliers. Tied at 6, 8:35 to go in the first period. Harper. Rebound, Grant, knocked away by Price. Williams.
See, today we have 2 excellent defensive rebounding teams. Neither team is what you would refer to as an animalistic offensive board team, but yet in the early going, Cleveland is showing that type of intensity.
A year ago, the Bulls won in 5 in a similar series. It was exactly a year ago today. They won at Chicago Stadium, but Cleveland has the home court advantage this time. Cartwright draws the foul. So no question that Cartwright is a man with a mission early here for Chicago.
This is going to be a Brahma bull fight for the entire 48 minutes. Gardy and Cartwright down inside. Both of them are wide bodies, and they do have that little jump hook either way, and a good drop step power moves to the basket.
Foul is on Ron Harper. Bill Cartwright has made a living in his career by going to the free throw line, averaging more than 10 free throws a game. Not so this season. He hasn't gotten the shots or the free throws as he has in the past.
Well, it's difficult to do if you only get 8 shot opportunities during the course of the year. He's accustomed to, when he was in New York for the 6 or 7 years, of getting that 15 to 16 shot opportunities.
And the coach got him the ball. The coach is my partner.
No, that's Red Holzman doing a very good job.
Pass is deflected. Cavaliers having a lot of trouble getting that entry pass in, and Grant follows Jordan. And the Chicago Bulls lead by 2.
That's what makes Michael so sensational a player. You know you have to guard him off the dribble, but his vision and the unselfishness of getting the other people easy layups.
Mark Price takes a 3 and misses. It's tipped up and in by Doherty on the second try.
I'm very impressed with that front line today. Nance, Doherty, and Williams. You're talking about a lot of size on the offensive board.
And Chicago can't match up with it, frankly. They may have to bring Sellers in and switch Pippen to a guard position if it gets too tough for him.
Wait a second. What do you got? A crystal ball here?
Horace Grant misses in the rebound by Williams. Nearly 5 minutes gone by. Ron Harper, who's hot early, misses. Here's Williams, and he's fouled. The story for Cleveland has been second shots and making the most of them, and a timeout is called. Off to a terrific start in Game 5. Tied early in the first period, nearly halfway through. Pippen and Nance, a matchup to watch up front, Hubie.
Well, Larry Nance is a premier scorer for Cleveland, and they feel that he's one of the top 10 field goal percentage guys in the league. And they know that he can get off the dribble, or he can hit the jump shot facing off of Pippen, but they feel that he can take advantage of him getting to the offensive board. And in the early going right now, we're seeing that.
The Lakers off to a quick start against Seattle in Game 1 of their West Semifinal series, and Milwaukee, without Terry Cummings, shot the Atlanta Hawks in the Omni 96-92, and will move on to play Detroit. Horace Grant committed the foul, and John Hot Rod Williams makes good on the free throw. So far, Cleveland has scored 8 of their 11 points on second shots. So Chicago's got to do a better job of defensive rebounding. And the score now is 12-10 in favor of the Cavaliers, but Chicago hanging in there and not letting Cleveland get ahead by much.
It's interesting in the early going that Michael Jordan has not handled the ball coming up the floor that much.
Here's a three-point attempt that's good by Scottie Pippen. Remember, in game 1, when the Bulls won here in Cleveland, Pippen was 4 for 4 from three-point range.
Well, Pippen and Hodges 7 for 9 in that ball game, and that allows Jordan and Cartwright and Grant to operate in the paint.
Talk about operating. What about the open court Harper? You give him an inch, and he'll take it to you. Cleveland by 1. Jordan with his first shot of the game, and a driving layup.
Do you think that he got upset that Harper drove by him at the other end?
You know, that's been a terrific open court matchup. And Mark Price drives and scores. So both Cleveland guards have scored on layups. Pippen comes back, blocked out of bounds by John Williams.
This is your first opportunity to see Cleveland. They are second in the league only to Golden State in shot blocking, and they've held up. They're averaging over 7 shot blocks a game in this playoff.
And it's mostly Manu Bol. Cleveland has a variety of shot blocking. Loop it in to Cartwright. Daugerthy defending. And here comes Price with a 1-point lead for Cleveland. Nance guarded by Cartwright now on the switch. The rebound is by Scottie Pippen. Michael Jordan has taken one shot, a driving layup, and has scored. Chicago trailing by 1 point. Each team has won one game on the road, and Cartwright bobbled a bounce pass into the post. Another turnover. Coming around the screen by Daugerthy. Hodges catching up to Price. In low to Daugerthy. There's that hook. Pippen with another nice rebound. That's 2 in a row by Scottie. 5:15 remaining first period. Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown here at sold-out Coliseum in Richfield. Grant misses the turnaround, and a loose ball foul called against the Cavaliers.
Watch on this jump hook by Daugerthy. Pippen coming into the screen here on the right-hand side. What you like about Scottie is the fact that he's 6'8", mobile. Now, not only will he rebound, but he'll initiate the fast break coming out of there with a strong dribble.
Brad Daugerthy with his first foul, and the Cavaliers have 4. One more, and they're over the limit. Chicago has committed just 1 team foul in this period. Cartwright, Pippen has a good screen from the corner, and Scottie Pippen now with 5 points. And the Bulls lead by 2.
Excellent two-man game that time by Pippen, passing into the post and fading. Nice return pass by Cartwright.
And a foul away from the ball. And it will be on Craig Hodges, his first personal foul, and the second team foul against the Bulls.
You'll see as Price goes to try to cut, you had a bump by Hodges. He's not going to let Price get down into that low box area so that he'll initiate a screen.
They've corrected the score. It is 17-16, not 18-16 as we reported. Price tries to tie it up, and he does.
Now that's the first time that Price has come off of a pick and had a chance to set his feet.
Grant beat his man down court, but he couldn't connect on the layup. So Chicago misses a great opportunity, and the Cavaliers with Harper will set up the play, leading by 1. 4:10 to go, and now Sellers gets off the bench. Brad Sellers will come in the game for the Bulls.
Nice.
Nance from Daugerthy. Backdoor.
What I like so far is, if I'm coaching Cleveland, is their transition defense is excellent, and I like the intensity level shown by the Chicago Bulls and also their space.
Michael Jordan drives in and gets fouled. Jordan really has not been a factor in the Chicago offense thus far. Perhaps more of a defensive man.
How would you like to make a living trying to guard this guy one-on-one? Look at him off the dribble now. Almost impossible to handle. Not only because of the dribbling ability, but once he elevates the extension and how he can change from hand to hand and get the shot up.
Greg Elo has reported to the game. And John Williams goes out. Larry Nance picked up his second personal foul. And here's Jordan on the line. Isn't it amazing, Hubie, how this guy scores 50 points and doesn't make every free throw, and people are saying, too bad Michael Jordan couldn't make the free throw to put it away. They would not have been in the position to even lose the game if it weren't for Michael. 1 of 2. Elo has checked in, as you saw. So there are 3 guards in there. Elo playing a forward spot. He can also be a guard. Daugerthy goes around Cartwright. And an offensive foul has been called against Brad Daugerthy, and that'll be his second personal.
Daugerthy feels the frustration. Let's watch and see if he hooks him with his left arm now. Watch, there he goes. Watch, there it is, right there with the hook. Excellent call by UB Evans.
Meanwhile, Larry Nance goes out. He has 2 fouls. Daugerthy stays in with his 2. Brad Sellers has come into the ball game for the Chicago Bulls. So up front, it's Sellers, Cartwright, and Pippen. Jordan has it knocked away by Harper. Elo's been playing with a sprained ankle, sidelined him for game 3. But hits the jumper in the lane, and the Cavaliers lead by 4.
Lenny Wilkins loves Elo's defense, and even though he came in as a forward, he's playing Michael Jordan, and they moved Harper from a guard position up front to play Scottie Pippen defensively.
Jordan goes up and scores. A beautiful play by Michael. He makes it look easy.
How about the challenging of every shot so far in the painted area at both ends?
Price ducks in against Hodges. Lost the ball to Cartwright. Here's a 3-on-2 situation for Chicago. Jordan. And an offensive foul called Jordan as he ran into Harper. Cleveland got back terrific, beautifully defensively.
Well, that was a tough catch in traffic for Michael to get the shot off or pass.
Back here at the Richfield Coliseum, where the Cavaliers have a 2-point lead here in the first quarter. You know, the Cleveland fans have been taking an awful lot of ripping by the newspapers here for not being as boisterous and as loud as the fans in Chicago. Well, Doug Collins, the Chicago coach, wanted to take advantage of that by having his team not allow the crowd to get into it in the first quarter, nor the first half. That certainly hasn't been the case. A lot of credit has to go to that talented and deep bunch known as the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's go back over to Dick.
All right, JB, thank you. Bill Cartwright with 6 and Ron Harper with 6 are the leading scorers respectively. Dave Corzine has replaced Bill Cartwright at center. Cartwright goes out, off to a good start with 6 points. 22-20 the Cavaliers. Mark Price, despite the groin injury, played 48 of the 53 minutes in game number 4. Tree Rollins, the shot blocker, the veteran 33-year-old performer, has also come in, and Craig Elo has hit his second in a row.
Lenny Wilkins made a statement to us earlier this season, and that is that he almost has to force Craig Elo to shoot. And he wants them to because he feels he plays big in the pressure games.
But the biggest contribution he can make is defending Jordan, who goes low post against him. He posted Jordan up. But I'll tell you what, Elo will fight around any screen and really make Michael Jordan work hard when he has the ball.
Well, the name of the game is to make him work as much as possible and hope for some form of fatigue at the end of the ball game.
Price hits. Price is off to a hot start.
There's very few players, Dick, in this league who read a pick, read their defensive man better than Mark Price.
He's 3 for 4 from the field. In the last game, they just wanted him to set up other people for the first half to get loose. But he's starting out shooting and shooting well in this game. 1:25 remaining in the first period. Craig Hodges, who is yet to attempt a 3-point shot. He's their big threat. 2 on the shot clock. Jordan, long range, short. And the Cavaliers again defend Chicago well. Harper goes in. No foul. A good non-call by Jake O'Donnell. And Chicago coming back with nearly a minute remaining in the first period. Trailing by 4.
That's the no non-call here in the NBA. If you're trying to take a charge underneath that rim, you'll never get that call.
Pippen goes for another 3-point shot. He misses. Jordan is there. No basket. And the foul will be against the Chicago Bulls. And Jordan has picked up his second personal foul.
You'll see it right here as Jordan backs up a watch. There's your hit. You know, when you kind of think about it, you know, that was almost a love tap. You know, they just get a little entangled that time. But this is a costly substitution right here.
Horace Grant will replace Jordan. Sam Vincent is in at guard. So the backcourt is Vincent and Pippen. And up front they have Corzine, Sellers, and Grant. So Scottie Pippen is playing a guard position now for Chicago. Harper loses the ball going in, didn't have control, and Jake O'Donnell has Paul traveling.
Oh, hold on.
He waved off Jack Madden, and Jack Madden will get it back on the call.
Yeah, Jack Madden had the grab first before the spin move into the travel violation.
You don't often see that as open with two officials disagreeing, but the main thing is that the right call is made.
Absolutely. So listen, we have three of the best here, you know, in the history of the NBA on this game today.
Both teams are in the penalty, and Ron Harper is on the line. The foul was on Pippen, his first personal. And Harper hits the free throw. He scored 31 points in the second game of the series, and that was his big one. That was a week ago today that got the Cavaliers back even on their home floor.
Well, he's alive today, Dick. Yeah, he's got a lot of bounce to his movement. Lenny Wilkins loves him as the gambler in their defense, and then naturally in the open floor, one of the toughest guys in the league to cover.
Biggest lead of the first quarter by the Cavaliers is 6 with 27 seconds in the period and 13 on the shot clock. Corzine setting a screen. Price stays with Vincent. And Vincent gets the basket with a spin move inside.
Difficult shot. This is the group that must hold them close for anywhere from 4 to 6 minutes.
Jordan,
second unit.
Jordan on the bench with 2 fouls, and Sellers, Corzine, Vincent, 3 members of the second unit in there. 3 seconds to go in the first quarter. Harper fires a 3, and that'll do it. But a well-played first quarter in game number 5 here at Richfield Coliseum. The winner will go. And welcome back to CBS's continuing coverage of the 1989 NBA playoffs. We've concluded the first quarter here in game 5 of the Bulls-Cavaliers series. Cleveland leading 28-24. Out west yesterday, an impressive performance by the Phoenix Suns. Tom Chambers with 25 and rookie Dan Marley with 22 as the Suns shocked Golden State. The Lakers playing Seattle. And the update on that score from the Forum is much closer than the early going. The Lakers are up by 5 after 1 period of play. So we start the second period. Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown, Sam Vincent and Scottie Pippen in the backcourt, Sellers, Grant, and Corzine up front. Michael Jordan remains on the bench, but he leads Chicago with 7. He has 2 personal fouls. Sellers picked up quickly by Mike Sanders, who's checked in the game. Pippen with 4 seconds on the shot clock. It's a wild shot. Cleveland now in the hands of Price. That's the man they want to handle the ball.
Excellent block that time by Elo.
Price for 3. He's got it. Mark Price.
You cannot fall asleep on Price, no matter where he is. One of the best in the history of basketball from 3-point range.
And that's saying a mouthful for a guy who's only in the infancy of his career. Corzine, the veteran, shooting outside and missing. Price the rebound, and they lose it out of bounds as Elo and Price collided. But notice that the Bulls aren't even coming close to getting second shots in this game.
See, when this unit's on the floor, Dick, they've been struggling the last 3 times down. Whatever they're running, they are not freeing the initial guy in order to get, you know, penetration off the dribble. I just don't like what I see so far.
Well, all Doug Collins wants is to plug the dike. With this unit, Grant comes in strong against Sanders, and that's the way of doing it. And it's 31-26. 5-point game. Rollins at center. Daugerthy starts off the second quarter on the bench. Elo coming off the screen. The rebound by Corzine. Opening minutes of the second period. Year ago, the Bulls won 3 games to 2. But they didn't have the home court advantage, which the Cavaliers have here. Cavs swept the Bulls 6-0 in the regular season. The series has been a far cry. Corzine. And it's going to be Chicago's ball and a new clock. The second chance points, Cleveland, 10 of their 31 points, most of them early, as Michael Jordan will return to the game. He's coming back with 2 personal fouls. And Ron Harper, his shadow, also checks in, and a hand for Craig Elo as he leaves. Harper's their man on Jordan. Cartwright now. Jordan scooping his way in with a basket and 9 points for Michael Jordan. He has averaged nearly 39 in the 4 games against the Cavaliers. Vincent has the tough assignment of guarding Mark Price. And he has down for Price. Inside Williams against Grant. Corzine, the veteran, has done a good job in blocking out and getting the ball off the defensive glass. Here's the pass to Sellers. Short jumper, and he hits it.
Any time that the Chicago Bulls rebound and make that first outlet, they have been able to get numbers at the other end of the floor. I'm just surprised with this unit that's on the floor right now that they're not trying to push every single first pass out of there.
Bulls have run off 6 in a row to cut the lead to 1. Price off the screen and a runner. Gets his own rebound. What a scrappy battler he is, but that shot is blocked away. Michael Jordan, Harper defending.
Oh, yes.
Sellers walks.
I want to tell you, that was a great pass. But Sellers was not looking for the pass, and it turns into a turnover.
He was admiring him like we were.
And this sequence, watch the many moves of Michael Jordan in this position. First, he's going to step back off the pick by Dave Corzine. Now, on the catch of the basketball, notice the head fake. And now, as he goes to step up into the area, Tree Rollins is going to cut him off. But then you'll see the dipsy-do move up, step through, and now the scoop shot. Now, all he did was give us about 4 little moves that time, and he made it all look very easy.
Yes, he did. Boy, Michael Jordan with 9. Cavaliers have only 1 basket in the last 4.5 minutes. And Cleveland with Harper and Price at guard. Sanders, Daugerthy back in there, and Nance. Nance is playing with 2 fouls, and so is Brad Daugerthy. So that's a situation to watch. Sanders coming off the screen, puts a fake on Grant and throws the ball away.
You know what? That was sad because Michael Jordan was in on the post in a mismatch trying to play Nance, and the ball never went to Nance immediately.
And Nance has scored 20 and 27 the last 2 games. Jordan gets Harper to fall down and misses the jump shot. Gambled for the loose ball, a 2-on-1 fast break and Mark Price. So you gamble and you give up the 2-on-1 at the other end.
You cannot try to anticipate a cutoff in the backcourt. You have got to get that one all out, because when Harper and Price are on the break, you are really vulnerable.
They have Sanders guarding Sellers and giving up a lot of inches. Sellers, though, is an outside shooter, not an inside player, and Cartwright is fouled going to the hoop, and he'll go to the line. So Bill Cartwright, who scored 6 points in the first quarter, Sanders commits the foul, and Mark Price goes out. That's Darnell Valentine, and Price with 11 points, 4 assists, and he has a 3-point basket to his credit. He's playing with a groin injury that he says hurts him still. He says it's not getting any better, but it's not getting any worse either.
He's put together a terrific 16 minutes here.
Bill Cartwright.
Yep.
We want to welcome the viewers who've been watching the Lakers and the Sonics in Game 1 out west. This is Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown along with James Brown. We're early in the second period in a tight, taut game with the Cavaliers leading the Bulls now 33-32. Biggest lead of the game. Cavaliers 7-point margin early in the second, but Chicago's come back. Michael Jordan with 9, Cartwright with 8, and Mark Price now on the bench leads the Cavaliers with 11. Darnell Valentine, the backup 8-year veteran point guard in his stead. Harper goes right around Grant, and a kicking foul is called against Bill Cartwright. That'll be his first.
Well, that was not an intentional kick. You'll see as Harper blows right by here on the baseline. You'll see him make the move, and he catches the foot right there with Cartwright into a trip.
That was the first team foul, and now they've changed it to Horace Grant, so it's 2 fouls on Grant. Cartwright still without a personal foul, and Sanders will inbound. Jordan trying for the steal. Cleveland has out-rebounded Chicago by a 2-to-1 ratio. Coming in, the Bulls have the edge off the boards in the first 4 games. Vincent is guarding Valentine, an easier assignment for Sam than Mark Price for sure. Harper. He's got it. Harper Harper with 10 points. Second player to go into double figures. The backcourt has scored 21 of the 35 points for Cleveland.
The strong suit of Daugerthy. When he gets double team, he finds the free man quickly.
Darnell Valentine gambling for the steal against Horace Grant. Any points they get from Grant are bonuses because they expect the points from Cartwright, Jordan, and Pippen.
Grant has taken a shot right to the left wrist, and he's really in quite a bit of pain.
They'll call the Chicago foul. It's a two-shot. It's a two-shot foul against Sellers, is it? Sellers commits his first.
They're taking Grant out of the ball game right now and replacing with Scottie Pippen.
He is holding his wrist, and we'll check on that. The trainer has marked foul. That was a one-shot foul on Sellers. In the crowd, Harper gets the layup even though he didn't have full control.
See, that's what you like to see at playoff time. As soon as there's a mismatch, that time Vincent was on Harper down and low. You must take advantage because you do not get that many easy opportunities.
Vincent is fouled by Darnell Valentine. Second team foul against the Cavaliers, and Cleveland will call a timeout. So if you look at the scoreboard and the Cavaliers leading by 3, the points in this 5-game series are dead even between the teams. That's how close it is. Well, what have the playoffs meant so far? Well, you can tell that in the West it's been freewheeling and easy. A lot more points being scored, average points per game. The East, a lot more intense and defensive style. The only teams shooting better in the playoffs are Golden State, LA, and Milwaukee, which advanced today. And this has been a tremendously competitive playoff in the NBA with the average margin of victory only 5 points. Hubie, what about Grant's injury there?
Well, we'll see Grant come right into our picture here, and there is the hit right there by Darnell Valentine, right across the wrist. Now he gets off the shot, but as he is running back down the floor, you can see he immediately grabs on.
All right, he had to come out of the game. JB, do you have an update on that?
All right, just to embellish Hubie Brown's point a little bit, it looked a little worse than it actually was. Horace Grant just hit his funny bone. He says he's okay. Let's go back to the day.
Wasn't so funny, JB, for Chicago followers, but I guess if he's all right, that's fine. He's back in the lineup. Grant, along with Cartwright and Sellers, Jordan and Pippen. So Pippen is playing a guard position now. Ducking in, and Jordan, this is the shot, goes after his own loose ball, and here comes Harper. Open court, dangerous player. 6:25 remaining in the first half. 37-34 Cleveland. Inside to Daugerthy. Rushed his shot. The rebound, Sellers lost it. Williams tries to save it. And it's going to be Cleveland's ball and a new clock.
Brad Daugerthy has a very severe hip pointer. And any time that you have that in a football or in basketball, you know that stretching and extending, especially a guy who relies on the hook shot, you're in a lot of trouble.
Sellers leaves the game, and Craig Hodges comes back in, so Pippen then moves to a forward position. Collins has used Pippen at guard against Atlanta and Milwaukee previously this year. Nearly halfway through the second period. Good inside-out passing by the Cavaliers, and Craig Elo has hit a 3. Elo now with 7 points, and if Elo and Price are hitting the long-range shots, that's going to spell trouble for Chicago. 40-34 in favor of the Cavaliers. Michael Jordan trying to make things happen. The pass is thrown off of Cartwright. Harper, no-look pass to Nance. And Doug Collins will call a timeout.
This last play of Michael Jordan coming off on the pick and roll. And as Bill Cartwright steps up, you'll see Williams come right into the action here on a rotation. Now, Michael Jordan comes off of Cartwright. Beautiful pick and roll. Now, here is the pass, which was every bit catchable. And you'll see the pass by Michael to Cartwright. And Williams steps right into the play on a perfect rotation defensively. But that ball was definitely catchable. Instead of the game being 4 points, and now transition fast break makes it an 8-point ball game.
Biggest lead of the game for the Cavaliers with 5:34 remaining in the first half. Chicago Bulls are 8 for 14 from the perimeter. That's pretty good for them because that's critical that they hit the outside shot. They're down by 8. Jordan in the corner. Hodges has it blocked by Harper into the hands of Hodges, and Cartwright hits the jumper. Quick reaction on both sides there, and Hodges with the quickest.
Well, I'm really impressed with the Cleveland defensive rotation. They are flying at the three-point shooters.
Pippen has the only three-point basket for the Bulls. Price and Elo have three-point hoops for Cleveland. Overplaying, Pippen knocks the ball away from Nance. And Chicago, slow to be aggressive, to say the least. And finally, Cartwright has it.
See, this group is excellent.
Pippen is fouled and will shoot 2.
Now just keep a good eye on Cleveland defensively. You'll see the pass, and here goes Harper challenging the three-point shooter. That they know that Hodges and also Pippen, they're trying to cut down on the many three-point opportunities.
Scottie Pippen, who is shooting under 70% from the line, misses the free throw. He's 0 for 3 in this game. The foul, by the way, was on Ron Harper. Team fouls. Cleveland has 3, Chicago 2. There's Mark Price back in the game talking with Lenny Wilkins, who will be inducted into the Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts the day after tomorrow. Pippen connects on 1. It's 42-37. The lead is 5 for Cleveland. That's how much time remains in the first half. Cavaliers led by 4 after 1 period. Cleveland getting their points from the guard position. A block by Cartwright. Fine play. A 3-on-1 break. Hodges back to Jordan. And Jordan misses a slam out of bounds. It'll be Cleveland's ball. So I think what Michael Jordan, with all his greatness, has to do is still play in control for him.
Well, this was an excellent pass back. You just don't see Michael. How many times during the course of the season you ever see him miss a power dunk? But I'm impressed with Chicago getting out on the break. They have had some excellent opportunities.
Michael Jordan, meanwhile, has missed his last 4 shots. He is not having a good shooting game thus far. Good roll by Nance. Laid it in softly off the high glass. 7-point Cleveland lead. Michael Jordan has scored 9 points, but has been cold from the field, basically. Cartwright, guarded by Daugerthy, who has 2 fouls. Cartwright with a familiar fall-away spin shot.
Billy's playing real big today, Dick.
12 points.
And every time they hit him down inside, if you notice on the release of the shot, he's getting banged a little bit, but the shots are true.
Looking inside for Daugerthy. Behind the back, fancy pass by Harper. Daugerthy inside is foul. That's the third team foul against Chicago.
See, we have 2 players down in that low post area that have excellent drop step power moves. Very difficult to defend.
Elo and Price up front. Daugerthy.
This is their 2-man game. It's Daugerthy and Price all the way.
Daugerthy is fouled before the shot. And that'll be the 14th foul against the Chicago Bulls. And it's the 3rd against Cartwright, so he has picked up 3 quick ones and has to come out of the game for Dave Corzine. A tough blow for the Bulls because Cartwright, with 12 points, is the leading scorer for Chicago, and while Jordan is cold from the field, offensively has kept Chicago in the game. We're at Richfield Coliseum. Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown. There's the lob pass from Daugerthy to Nance, who's pushed. And the penalty situation is in effect. A fine pass by Brad Daugerthy, and Nance will shoot 2.
In this quarter, you must be impressed with how easy Cleveland are finding the people on either backdoor moves in the painted area or any time that Chicago double teams, they're finding 3 guys cutting.
Horace Grant called for the foul, his 3rd. So Grant and Cartwright, each with 3 fouls. Grant will stay in the game. But Sellers now gets off the bench. Nance makes good on the free throw. The Cavaliers have struggled in a big way from the free throw line in this series, but not so today, where they are a perfect 5 for 5 from the line. Grant out of the ball game. He has scored 6 points and has been a tremendous rebounder for the Bulls in this series. Nance can make only one, and Sellers, who replaced Grant, has the rebound. 45-39 Cleveland. We're getting close to the 3-minute mark of this first half. Jordan off the screen, finds an opening. See you later. A left-handed layup. 11 now for Michael Jordan. Under 3 minutes to go, and it's a 4-point lead. And when you consider Jordan has 11 points, Chicago very much in the game. Foul trouble, though, could be a dilemma for them. Inside out, Daugerthy to Harper. Rebound, Pippen. Hodges loses the ball. Jordan saves it beautifully. Pippen goes for 3. Jordan, right place at the right time. And a foul called against the Cleveland Cavaliers, a loose ball foul, their 4th team foul.
As Hodges goes to make one, watch Michael Jordan on the baseline side and have the presence to throw the ball out to the free player.
Meanwhile, Brad Daugerthy has picked up his 3rd personal foul, and Tree Rollins will come in. Rollins has played well as a shot blocker, holding the court, but Daugerthy goes out having scored only 2 points. He has not been a prolific scorer in this series, scoring 7 points under his season's average, and Daugerthy on the bench now. We'll call Elo with the foul, and the penalty situation is in effect, and Jordan will go to the line to shoot 2, and will try to cut the Bulls' deficit to a bucket.
Well, Craig Elo tried to deny Michael Jordan from posting up that time, but Jordan is so smart that the left arm, he just shielded Elo off, and they had a little collision that time.
I don't think there's any question now as we watch these playoffs that there's no greater individual performer in the league than Michael Jordan. He missed the free throw with 2:18 remaining. Chicago is having its problems from the strike this afternoon. They have connected on only 6 of 11. That's not good.
No, and they are a 78% foul shooting team in this playoff and during the course of the regular season. Michael Jordan averaging over 13 foul shot attempts in the 4 previous games.
So Jordan and Cartwright each with 12 lead the Bulls, and Harper with 12, the top point man for the Cavaliers. Jordan almost asking Elo to take the 3, who didn't do it. Passed it up. Now he might. He does. And the rebound again by Pippen, and Price knocked it away, and they're going to call a foul against Scottie Pippen. But Mark Price, who is playing with a groin injury that's hurting him, hustling out of his mind in this game.
Well, it's the old story of when you rebound a ball, do not bring the ball down below your number, because now you're letting the guards to get in there and possibly cause a turnover or to put a free ball out on the floor.
So here's Price, a 90% free throw shooter. Scottie Pippen with his 2nd personal foul. Both teams are now in the penalty with 1:54 remaining in the first half. The Cavaliers have not been able to break away from the Chicago Bulls in this first half. And the longer Chicago can hang in the game with Michael Jordan, the presence, the more confident they could become in the 4th quarter. This is the 5th and deciding game of round number 1. Winner will play the Knicks. The loser is done for the year.
Excellent defensive rotation.
4 on the shot clock. Scottie Pippen, a wild 3. Jordan outfights Price for the rebound and a new clock. Jordan scored 50 points in game 4, 44 in the previous game, but his outside shot is not there in this first half.
That pick and roll is open, though. Every time that they run it, they can get the open jump shot or the roll man.
Double Nance. Open is Williams. Goes strong to the hoop and is fouled. They have been Sellers on the personal, but an alert move by Williams, who saw the opening.
See, that's what you love to see when you're coaching. That guys, when they make that catch, that they understand that they can get to the basket and they take a strong move to the basket. You see, he was going for the power dunk. And that way he knows that the worst he's going to get is 2 foul shots. And what he really wants is to get the dunk and the foul.
John Williams showing Cleveland missing only 1 free throw thus far. Williams has been the 6th man all season long until The last game of this series when he started in place of Mike Sanders, and the big front line paid off for the Cavaliers. Under a minute to go, 48-42 Cleveland. First half. Hodges, short. Tell you, Mark Price is not giving him an inch.
No, he isn't. And every time Hodges takes a shot, Price is right up there contesting.
Biggest lead for the Cavaliers, 6 points. They were in a position to stretch it to 8, and Scottie Pippen on a high flyer over Nance cuts it instead to 4. This game has had an ebb and flow like we haven't seen so far in the first 4 games of the series.
Well, if I'm Doug Collins, I know, listen, Michael is not on a rampage today. We're only 4 down. We only got 30 seconds to go right now, and our transition game is outstanding.
Cartwright on the bench with 3 fouls. So is Horace Grant. You'll need both of them before this is over. Elo misses a 3. Jordan with 15 seconds to go, and the Bulls playing for the last shot of a tremendously exciting and well-played first half of Game 5.
It's a tough cover for Price. They have to double team.
Jordan goes in and draws the foul, and there's almost no way you could avoid fouling him the way he got around Price. Tree Rollins committing the foul, and Jordan will go to the line to shoot 2. There's Charles Davis, who is coming in for defensive purposes. He's been a scrapper off the bench in the latter stages of the season. Jordan is 2 for 4 from the line in this game.
Well, Michael's an 85% foul shooter in the playoffs, 85% foul shooter during the course of the year.
That says a mouthful. 22nd timeout called by the Cavaliers, and right now Lenny Wilkins is setting up his last shot attempt with 3 seconds to go. What? All right. All right, next Saturday and Sunday, we have doubleheaders for you in the NBA playoffs. 1 o'clock on Saturday, 1 o'clock Sunday. Doubleheader action. QB, what about the strategy here for the Cavaliers in the final 3 seconds when they get the ball?
Well, defensively, you're telling your players to make the offensive player come back to the basketball. This ball must travel 94 feet. So what you do not want to have happen is that a player releases and goes long and catches a long pass. And that way, then on the catch, they're already over half court. The object is make your offensive player come back to the basketball.
Well, Pat O'Brien coming up at the half. Highlights of the Milwaukee Shocker over Atlanta. Charles Davis will be guarding Craig Elo. That's one of the defensive jobs that he has, is guarding Elo. See, Seattle has taken the lead. Jordan has 1 free throw with 3 seconds to go. They have Price, Harper, and Elo, 3-point shooters. Jordan makes it. 3 seconds to go. Williams tosses in. Price, and they can't get it off. So the Chicago defense deserves some credit. They limited Cleveland to only 1 basket in the last 5.5 minutes, and that's the end of the first half with the score. The Cavaliers 48, the Bulls 46. Pat O'Brien will return with the Prudential at the half. Live from our New York studio after this message.
Come to the Prudential and build your future on the rock.
From Control Room 43 in New York City, welcome to another edition of the Prudential at the Half. I'm Pat O'Brien. 2 great playoff games going on right now. Let's begin with the West, where the Lakers are hosting the Seattle Supersonics in Game 1 of the Western Conference semifinal, a shootout. Seattle leads now 54-52 at halftime. Seattle chipped away at the Lakers' early lead. Sonics guard Nate McMillan slams it in there for 2. James Worthy now with the jumper as the Lakers fought off the Sonics 50-46 at that point. There Seattle blocks a Laker shot, gets it out to Xavier McDaniel. He slams it in. That put them in the lead 54-52 in a big game this Sunday afternoon in Richfield, Ohio. Game 5 between the Bulls and the Cavs, and right now at the half, Cleveland leads 48-46. Now, before the game, the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan had a little team meeting. But that didn't seem to matter to the Cavs as they dominated inside. Larry Nance rebounds his own missed shot as Doug Collins calls out some instructions. The Cavaliers also played terrific defense as Ron Harper blocks Michael Jordan's dunk attempt. Michael Jordan finally got on track as he scores in the lane. Watch this little scoop shot up in there for 2. Ron Harper now hits Larry Nance on a no-look for the layup. And right now, Cleveland leads Chicago 48-46. Earlier today here on CBS and inside the Omni in Atlanta, it was do or die for Milwaukee and Atlanta. And when Game 5 was over, the Bucks sent the Hawks on vacation. Milwaukee 96, Atlanta 92 in a surprise. Game 5 at the Omni, and the Hawks mascot had his game face on. The Bucks led early until the Hawks got going with John Koncak slamming one in. Milwaukee's bench helped them keep them in the game as Fred Roberts laid it up to tie it at 44 at the half. In the second half, Atlanta went ahead, but Ricky Pierce brought the Bucks back as he drilled 2 3-pointers. Pierce had 25 on the day. Then Dominique Wilkins went to work. He gets loose inside to tie the game at 74. With the Hawks down by 3 and time running out, Dominique forces a desperation 3-pointer and misses. The Milwaukee Bucks win the series and now move on to Detroit.
Toughest team in the league. We know that. They played like it all year long, very consistent. They're healthy. We got our hands full, but we also want an opportunity to play them, and we got that too.
I'll tell you something, Detroit may have its hands full as well. Milwaukee won the season series 4-2. The Bucks won all 3 games in Milwaukee and also won one in Auburn Hills. When we come back, it is back. Hot off the presses, the At the Half Gazette, as we faithfully roll on from New York City and Datelines everywhere. After a commercial and a word from your local station. Stay with us. Yes, and this is the time of day where newspaper publishers from around the country pull a little closer to the set for 2 reasons. They always want to know how the competition is doing, and secretly, they get their playoff news from the At the Half Gazette. And why not? We've got the very latest equipment, a snazzy look about us, and historical perspective. For example, 1989 has been a year of transition. America's leaders changed. And in sports, America's team changed leaders. And in the NBA, the Lakers are staring at a changing of the guard. Well, actually changing of the center. Goodbye to Kareem. Hello to center in waiting, Michael Thompson.
We'll have a different look next year without Kareem. We'll be a lot smaller, obviously. So I think we'll depend even more on our quickness and our running game. We'll spread the offense out and just try to take advantage of mismatches, sort of like what Golden State does right now.
Ah, look at him work. Our staff just happened to have a Golden State playoff story on file. No, it's not about earthquakes or Nelly quakes, but instead the fine art of selling your team to the public.
We told him we thought we could play in the big time. We were wondering if he wanted to coach. Old Nelly says, forget it, you know. You're a playground team, you know what I mean? Those guys would eat you for lunch. And Teller says, let's go, man. The guys started leaving. So I say to him, you're wrong about us. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Oh, yeah? We're going to show you some stuff, because you're wrong about us, chump. Yeah, okay, I didn't say chump.
It's almost like we followed a script this year, where we came in and we made some changes, and a bunch of kids that nobody thought could do anything all of a sudden got a chance in the big leagues and actually made the playoffs and did well.
Big league players like Chris Mullin and Rookie of the Year Mitch Richmond. But our crack reporters wondered, why isn't Ralph Sampson in the starting lineup? Not 1 minute in the first round against Utah, there he sat as the sweep rolled on. Oh, he played yesterday, but the Warriors were already down by 31 when he came in, but Ralph's thinking about the big picture.
Right now, I'm very happy the team is winning, and that's the name of the game. Obviously, I would like to be a part of it, but that's not my decision. And really, I don't really wish to talk about anything else besides the team winning.
On the other hand, the Gazette will talk about anything. Let's explain this tabloid headline. It concerns Milwaukee coach Del Harris's shoes. You see, he promised his team early in the Atlanta series that he'd wear a pair of outrageous loafers if they didn't loaf. They didn't. After their Game 3 victory, there was Del Harris, and there were those shoes.
If I can look like a jerk and get people involved, and if I can look like a jerk and my players play better, I'm willing to do that.
Come on, Pete. Start moving. Got to get me there.
To find those shoes, go to where nearly everybody in the NBA shops here in Atlanta, where they have every color, every kind of lizard skin, every size up to 26, and a guy named Murray.
Actually, if somebody wears this size, the owner will give it to them.
Thank you, Murray. And all we can give you is truth, justice, and the NBA. And you can bet Del Harris is packing those silver shoes as he and the Bucks head on to Detroit. Well, your game announcers are already on their beat, and it's time to go back to playoff basketball. I'm Pat O'Brien. Thank you for joining us on the Prudential at the Half. Enjoy the second half here on CBS.
The Prudential at the Half has been sponsored by the companies of the Prudential. Come to the Prudential and build your future on the Rock. CBS Sports' continuing coverage of the 1989 NBA playoffs is sponsored by Minute Maid Orange Soft Drink, the orange of the NBA. Right Guard Sports Stick from Gillette, antiperspirant and deodorant. Anything less would be uncivilized. And by the heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet.
And welcome back to the 1989 NBA playoffs, and exciting playoffs they have been thus far. And at halftime, the Cleveland Cavaliers at home leading the Chicago Bulls 48-46 in the decisive fifth game. And when you consider that despite his 14 points, Michael Jordan really hasn't exploded. The Bulls have hit the perimeter shots, but Cleveland's defense, when it wants to clamp down, can make things awfully difficult. Foul trouble and inside play could ultimately determine this game, as both Cartwright and Daugerthy. Cartwright has outplayed Daugerthy so far, 12-2 scoring. Both of them are in foul trouble. And Hubie Brown, just a few moments ago, talked with Chicago Bulls coach Doug Collins.
Doug, in the second quarter, a great job at stopping them on the offensive boards.
Well, we just told our guys, you know, that loose balls are going to win this game. I mean, we did a good job defensively, and we'll get those loose balls. They're making such a commitment, UB, to trap us back there. We can throw out and get some easy baskets.
Now, what about Michael? Will we see Michael take the ball up the floor a little bit more in this half, Doug, or will you keep it the way it's been going?
Well, I've tried to mix it around a little bit, you know, use our screen rolls judiciously so they don't get used to playing them, and then hit them quickly so that Michael has some shots. And I thought when we used them, we were effective with them.
Right. Good luck, Doug.
Thanks, Jimmy.
All right, on the Cleveland side of the ledger, the coaching staff was generally pleased with a couple of things. One, their aggressiveness, particularly on the boards, and in fact, they had some good offensive balance scoring-wise. However, the concerns, Brad Daugerthy needs to contribute more, only one basket in the first half, although in foul trouble. And also Michael Jordan, although only 5 of 13, Chicago only trails by 2 points. Let's go back over to Dick.
Hubie, do you think that this game could come down to who remains in foul trouble? Daugerthy, Cartwright, and Grant all have 3 or not?
Well, it's key people, Dick, right now. We have Grant. We have Cartwright for Chicago. You have Daugerthy. You know, it's an interesting stat at halftime. The 2 leading offensive rebounders in this game, Michael Jordan with 3 and Mark Price with 3.
Yeah, and he has fought hard to get them. Underway in the second half. Hodges and Jordan at guard. Up front, it's Grant, Cartwright, and Pippen. And Grant throws it away. Again, Cavaliers just shutting down the inside. Chicago shot 44%, Cleveland an even 50%. John Williams open for the shot and hits it. Leading scorers, Mark Price with 13 for Cleveland, and Jordan has 14 for Chicago. Grant inside working against John Williams. Short on the hook shot. Here's Nance. 2 good defensive sequences by the Cavaliers. That shooting was 44%, by the way, for Chicago. Daugerthy and Cartwright see if anyone gets 4. And the basket will not count. And the foul is on Grant. That's his 4th foul. So foul trouble has affected Chicago right off the start of this third quarter. And Grant will have to sit down with 4, replaced by Sellers.
Sellers played extremely well in Game 4 on Friday night in Chicago. Gave them a big lift offensively as well as on the boards.
And on the boards is the key. That's one thing he hasn't given Chicago much of. Always has had the outside shooting touch. 50-46. So Grant with 4 on the bench. Hodges is on Price. And a 3-second violation. Brad Daugerthy was in the lane. He turned it over.
You know, we're seeing an excellent battle defensively between Daugerthy and Billy Cartwright. You know, they're both trying to maneuver around inside, and they're countering one another with physical force. Excellent job.
Harper is guarding Jordan. Cartwright is out there to set a screen. Jordan using Cartwright as a pick man and hits his first shot of the second half. Jordan scored 7 in the first quarter and 7 in the second.
See, I like Michael Jordan at the top of the circle in the middle of the floor. It's so hard to double team without getting burned.
Harper hits the shot from outside. Ron Harper with 14. The starting backcourt of Price and Harper have 27 points. Cleveland by 4, 52 to 48. 2 minutes elapsed in the third quarter. Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown along with James Brown. Richfield Coliseum. Winner will place the New York Knicks in the Eastern Semifinals. The loser is done. Hodges throws the ball away into the hands of Williams.
Interesting, Chicago has had 2 turnovers trying to feed the post.
And stepping on the line out of bounds, and Chicago's fortunate because of the turnovers the other way.
Now watching this picture, how Michael Jordan will use Cartwright one way, come back the other, and Cartwright a little bit of a moving pick on Harper that time.
Jake O'Donnell had signaled that one of the Cavaliers stepped on the line. It was Chicago ball. Cavs didn't think so, and then he gave the signal again, and that's why you heard the crowd reaction. Let's see if the Bulls can improve upon their entry passes inside. The Cavaliers have just shut them off tight. Hodges from the corner rims a 3. Cartwright gets the rebound, and he's called for too many steps traveling. It was a good offensive rebound by Bill, though.
That's the first time we've seen Hodges wide open all game today, where he had an uncontested 3-point shot.
Credit Mark Price. He's the blanket on him. Cleveland had a big rebounding edge in the first period, and Chicago turned it around in the second. Shot clock. Wild pass knocked away by Hodges, and Price might have hooked Hodges. They didn't call it. I thought Price had fouled Hodges a little bit.
24-second clock.
So in any event, it's Chicago ball.
This is the playoffs, and here we have 2 great team players right here, guys that lay it out the entire time they're on the floor. And the reason why that was a 24-second possession is that no team, Chicago never regained possession of that basketball.
A little more than 3 minutes going by in the third quarter. 52 to 48, the Cavaliers by 4. Their biggest lead was 8 points. Michael Jordan hits one, a 3-point basket by Jordan. The second 3-point hoop of the game by the Bulls. He has 19 points, and the Cavaliers' lead is cut to a single digit. Hodges on Price. Doherty against Cartwright. Spins inside and a foul. It might have been Jordan.
Now this will be an interesting call. Is it Jordan or Cartwright?
And it's on Bill Cartwright. That'll be 4 on Cartwright. So with 4 minutes or so gone by in the third quarter, both of the Bulls in foul trouble. Horace Grant and Bill Cartwright have picked up their 4th personal foul. So Doug Collins, who does not have a real deep bench to begin with, has to go to Corzine to replace Cartwright. So Sellers and Corzine have replaced 2 front court men, and now you wonder, it's amazing how the Bulls have hung in there with the situation.
Now Michael Jordan is over talking to Jake O'Donnell. They thought that they had Doherty, Cartwright, and Jordan. They thought they had him trapped behind the backboard that time, and they felt that he jumped into them.
Doherty hits the free throws. He made 2 clutch free throws with 4 seconds to go and said, I knew I was going to make it when I went to the line in regulation Friday. Jordan, not to be denied, goes in and is fouled. Cleveland doesn't like that call, but you can see this is the first time today Jordan said, I'm not going to be denied on this foray.
Well, see, any time that he takes the ball from the opposite foul line and comes up in the middle of the floor here, Harper's trying to bump him, a little hand checking and another bump, but it's just impossible to guard him. And then when he breaks the foul line, the extension is beautiful.
Foul was on Williams, his first, team fouls. 1 against the Cavs, 2 for Chicago. Jordan going for his 21st point. His worst scoring game of the series was in game 2 when he scored 30. That's his worst game. Right now, he has been the big man for the Bulls. He has scored all of the 7 Chicago points this period. Pippen might have gotten a piece of Nance inside.
See, we've just played 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And the interesting thing is that they have not gone to Nance before this. Now, this is the same matchup that we had at the beginning of the game that Nance was taking advantage of, that they were looking for early.
He has scored only 9 points, and so that's a puzzle. Meanwhile, Pippen with his 3rd foul. So the front line of the Chicago Bulls hampered with foul trouble. On the switch, Corzine has Price. Fires a 3 and hits it.
Now, let me tell you something. That was a big-time 3. Dribbling to his left, going away from the basket, stopping on a dime and hitting a 3.
His second 3-point basket of the game. He's got 16, and Jordan lays it in. Jordan has 23. I don't know who's the greatest player. I guess Jordan is in this series without doubt, but Price will have to be the most courageous considering that groin injury and the way he's performed on it.
Is there anybody that has a better hesitation dribble than Michael Jordan?
Cavaliers tried a looping pass, turned it over. Here it is, Jordan again.
See that little hesitation move, and he gets the defensive man to just relax, and then it's the explosion.
And Williams didn't want any part of trying to get another foul. 57-55, tipped by Harper. Great defensive play by Harper. Gets the ball back from Daugherty. 3-on-1 break, and Sellers with a good foul on Larry Nance. He prevented the easy stuff.
No layups today. I mean, you must challenge. See, watch this bad pass. You see, that was a pass into a pivot player who did not call for the ball because he was fighting for position. Now, we have seen the Chicago Bulls this quarter throw the ball away 3 times because they did not allow the post-up guy an opportunity to get up and play big. And that's what you must do.
Speaking of big, how about Seattle with a lead over Seattle in the over LA, I should say. It's not an inter-squad game, in the 3rd quarter.
Yes.
Cleveland by 4. I'm amazed that the Cavaliers only have a 4-point lead considering the fact that the Bulls don't have their front court people in.
Watch this high pick and roll.
By Corzine. Sellers. Williams picked them up nicely. Boy, Cleveland's defense is just airtight right now.
Yeah, but bad spacing by Chicago.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Saved by Sellers. Hodges fires a 3. And great Hodges, whose 3-point basket, only his 2nd hoop. And it's a 1-point Cleveland lead. Price with a left-handed layup. Beautiful play by Mark Price. Price has 18. This is a classic playoff game, a decider. Knocked away as Sellers and Jordan try to score. Price is coming back. Throws it away. But until Hodges hit the 3, all of the points in this quarter for the Bulls came from Michael Jordan.
Lenny was a little excited that time. But watch this move by Price. How's that for a beautiful left-handed change?
This is a game to admire. Really interesting, Hubie, is the fact that Milwaukee won the season series over Detroit 4-2, and they're going to match up in the best of 7. The winner of this game faces the New York Knicks. If you're wondering how Cleveland and Chicago fared against New York, the Bulls won the season series 3-2. Cleveland tied the Knicks. The home team won every game. And the shot blocking of Cleveland with Nance with 11 in one game loomed large against New York, but we're a long way from that matchup. 6:22 to go in the 3rd period. Cleveland hanging on to the lead. They've led most of the way, but have not been able to stretch it. Hodges trying to post up against Price for the moment. Now comes out. Now posting up is Jordan against Harper. Great turnaround move by Michael. He has 25 points, 11 here in the 3rd. There's the foul story, and it affects Grant and Cartwright in particular for Chicago. 61-60, the Cavaliers in front. Under 6 minutes to go now. Price cutting in the middle. Sellers 7-footer in front of him. 5 on the shot clock. Price goes for the 3 and hits it. Why are they letting Price that room to hit the 3?
Well, you had a mismatch that time, Dick. You had a forward picking him up, and he did not want to get beaten off the dribble.
3 3-point baskets by Mark Price. He has the shooting eye back for sure. Jordan battling Daugherty out of bounds, and it's still Chicago ball. Good hustle by Michael against the taller Daugherty. 2 former teammates at Chapel Hill in North Carolina. But there's 2 players Doug Collins would long to have out there now, Cartwright and Grant.
A lot of firepower. Your inside power game is sitting down.
The lead is 4 for Cleveland. Chicago comes close. Price hit the 3. Jordan wide open. Off the screen, and Michael Jordan with 27 in the game all of a sudden. Keep in mind, if the Bulls can stay close going to the fourth quarter, they always have a chance to win with Jordan, and the Cavaliers really hanging tough, have the edge in this game. Williams with a wild shot, a rare bad shot for the Cavs. Nance drawing the foul, gets the basket to boot.
We're talking about a guy who has been left out of the offensive attack in this quarter. That was some shot. Cleveland lucky to get a loose ball here, but watch this shot.
Michael Jordan's third personal foul. You cannot consider it to be foul trouble yet. If he picks up 4, then he has foul trouble. And there you see how Jordan has been the sizzling source for Chicago here in the third quarter, but the Bulls still trail by 5 thanks to 3-point plays by Price and Nance. Pippen inside, a Hodges feeds Sellers, blocked by Nance.
That shot blocking threat is always there, and it's just more than one guy.
Harper coming around a screen, winding his way in, banks it in. Timeout will be called by Doug Collins, and the crowd erupts.
Pat O'Brien in control room 43 in New York City. The Lakers are now making a comeback against Seattle. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with a patented skyhook. He has 12 points on the day as the Lakers lead 71-67. Seattle has not won in the Forum since April 1987. Let's go back to Dick in Richfield, Ohio.
Thank you very much, Pat O'Brien. A great weapon for the Cavaliers right here.
Well, you'll see the quickness of Larry Nance coming there for the shot block. That is his 12th shot block in this 5-game series, but he is in the top 5 in the league. And when you also add Williams, who is the 11th shot blocker, and Tree Rollins, the second best in the history of the game behind Kareem, you know that they got a lot of firepower.
Scottie Pippen misses a 3. Out of bounds, Cleveland ball. Michael Jordan has scored 13 of Chicago's 16 points in the quarter. Craig Hodges' 3-pointer, the other 3. It's been a one-man show, and right now, Chicago trying to stay with Cleveland. The Cavaliers have opened up a 7-point lead. Jordan the rebound on Nance's miss. Nance has scored 14, but Price with 21 leads. Question is, when is the decision time for Doug Collins to go back to Grant and Cartwright, who are on the bench with 4 fouls, while the bench has given up a lead to the Cavaliers. Corzine hits the shot, and that's a bonus.
Well, he's trying to buy time to the beginning of the fourth quarter, even down into the 10-minute mark. But, you know, you watch this very closely. You cannot let the lead get to 10 or more.
3 minutes and 18 seconds to go. Daugherty. Only the 6th point for Brad Daugherty. Second field goal for Brad.
Well, you must contest the power people when they're down inside there. You've got to challenge the shot.
Corzine setting a screen. Jordan goes right around Daugherty. Too hard on the reverse layup. Here's Mark Price. They can open up a 9-point lead with a basket here, or 10. Daugherty setting screens. And on the shot clock, Hodges playing Price tight, and the ball is thrown. Daugherty wasn't looking for the pass inside, and it bounced off his head. Meanwhile, Charles Davis replaces Scottie Pippen, who goes out with 8 points and 3 personal fouls.
You'll see Daugherty down in here and Corzine backing around. Now, see, here comes the pass right now. But it goes back to what we told you earlier. You do not throw the ball to a post guy until he calls for the basketball.
2.5 to go in the third. Jordan leaves it for Hodges. His second 3-point basket of this quarter for Craig Hodges cuts the lead to 4.
Could not have come at a better time.
So Corzine and Hodges have hit perimeter shots last 2 times now. Price goes right by Corzine. Nance, the offensive rebound, swatted away by Sellers.
Close. close, but that was on the way up, Dick.
Wayne Embry, the Cleveland general manager, looks calm, but inside you've got to know he's churning. Cavaliers looking to get beyond the first round for the first time under this regime of Embry and Wilkins. Price. Elo almost had that rebound. It bounced away. Less than 2 minutes to go in the third. Jordan loses the ball out of bounds. Is he trying to do too much?
Yeah, a little bit too much right now, but that was excellent defense by Larry Nance. He was able to get a piece of it on that crossover.
You'd rather have a guy try to do too much if his name is Jordan, the way he plays. 1:40 remaining in the third. Harper with a pick and roll, throws the ball away. Nance is claiming he was pushed by Corzine, gets no satisfaction from Jack Madden.
Well, he was held that time, and you could see it. He was grabbed right around the waist, so there was no way that he could move on that back door.
That's the 7th Cleveland turnover this period. That's a lot for a well-drilled team defensively, offensively like the Cavs. Jordan, Corzine fighting for the offensive boards, and good hustle by Corzine.
You'll see, look at the jockeying going on right now between Sellers and Nance. You see, now they're both complaining, but you could see Sellers' right hand.
But Nance had him first, and it was like a draw.
Well, isn't it a little bit like the NFL when you're going out for a fly pattern?
You know this.
That's right.
John Williams is in for Nance, who goes out with 14.
Well, Nance a little frustrated.
And Sam Vincent will give Michael Jordan a rest. So let's look at the score, 71-67, as Jordan goes to the bench. This is a thrilling game. Deciding game. Corzine misses.
Bad shot opportunity.
Harper. Elo back to Doherty. Good pass by Elo that time.
Chicago never recovered from the unorthodox shot at the one end, and they were slow in their transition.
They were out of balance on the court. 49 seconds to go in the period, and Craig Hodges. That is a 2-point basket for Hodges, but he has scored 8 of his 10 points here in the third. 73-69, the Cavaliers. They led by 4 after 1 quarter, 2 at the half.
Pick and roll.
Price nearly lost it. There's Elo, and they'll call the foul against Sellers, I believe, of the Bulls.
In this sequence, you'll see a great pass to Doherty coming right down the middle for Elo. What they call that give-and-go basketball.
Brad Doherty gets a big hand. The crowd had been on him a little bit. Some letters to the newspapers here. He's only 23 years old and is going to be one of the best centers in the league. Pretty close with 8 points and 8 rebounds, a game high. Elo, however, misses the free throw. He did make the free throw. Tree Rollins comes in for Doherty. And Price goes out. Elo makes them both. 2 free throws for Craig at 75-69. He's been playing despite a sprained ankle that kept him out of the third game of this series. There's the time remaining. 19 on the shot clock. Differential of 4 seconds. Now 8 on the shot clock. Hodges coming around a screen to get his own rebound and will fire up a 3. In and out. Williams the rebound with 3 seconds to go. And Elo can't get it off in time. So Cleveland increases their lead in the third quarter. And that's the end of the period. The Cavaliers 75, the Bulls 69. We'll return to the Richfield Coliseum after this message and a word from your local station. The fourth quarter Coming up, the 1989 NBA playoffs have lived up to their advanced billing. The Cleveland Cavaliers with a 75-69 lead after 3. Michael Jordan and Craig Hodges accounted for all 23 of Chicago's points in that quarter. Jordan getting 13, but Mark Price has really come out of a shooting slump, plagued by the groin injury with tremendous shooting in the last 2 games. So it's Darnell Valentine starting at guard with Harper. He's got Rollins, Williams up front, in fact, and Elo. Cartwright and Grant are both in there for the Chicago Bulls. Elo wide open. Big shot to start the 4th.
Big pass by Valentine.
An 8-point lead now. But keep in mind that both Horace Grant and Bill Cartwright, who are playing with 4 personal fouls, are starting, so Doug Collins didn't want to buy any more time. 4 personals on each of the 2 big men for Chicago. Matching the biggest lead of the game right now for Cleveland. Jordan is bottled up and is fouled. It'll be on Rollins.
Anytime that Jordan comes off of that pick and roll inside of 15 feet, they are automatically trapping him and making it extremely difficult. That time he had 3 guys on him, and he could not find the free people.
Scottie Pippen is back in the lineup as well. He has hit only 3 of 11, and the Bulls are going to need some offense from him in the 4th quarter. But they're going to close in on the Cavaliers. There's Hodges. Saved a pass over his head. 8 on the shot clock. Jordan against Elo. Elo hanging in there with him. Tipped up and in by Grant. It was off the mark. Elo had done a remarkable defensive job, but Grant was Johnny on the spot. Here's Elo at the other end. That's a 2-point basket by Craig.
2 drives to the baskets by the Cavaliers. Chicago played him perfectly, and the player found the free guy for the basket.
Jordan going around Elo, going around everyone, runs into Williams. And they're going to call the foul on John Williams. That'll be the 2nd team foul on Cleveland.
On this release by Michael, there was no chance that he was behind the board. Elo got a piece of that shot, but excellent timing by Grant, coming right down the middle on that.
Michael Jordan going for his 28th and 29th points of the game. Trying to cut the Cavalier lead to 6. Cleveland playing at home. They suffered only 4 home losses all year, and no one had a better home record during the regular season. But they dropped game 1 to Chicago on this floor and trying to make the 5th game a charm on their home floor, leading by 6. Winner faces the New York Knicks this week. The loser concludes the season. Less than 2 minutes gone by in this 4th period.
Chicago switching all around.
Rollins posting up against Cartwright. Gets the rebound into the hands of Hodges. Hodges forces it up and gets tipped up and in by Grant. He didn't force it up, he pushed it up. Don't want to make that mistake. It was a good play by Hodges, but Grant with another big tip in.
Big tip by Grant, but how about the hard push of the basketball by Hodges?
Elo going strong in, nearly lost it. It's a 4-point Cavalier lead. Can't shake the Bulls in this 5th and deciding game, at least not yet. Elo with a fake on Pippen, who blocks the shot from behind. A wild play by Elo. Pippen, good defense, 3-on-1, 2 break. Pippen goes in and is fouled by Darnell Valentine. So Lenny Wilkins still has maybe another gray hair in his head because the Chicago Bulls have come back.
One of the teams watching this game with interest, of course, are the New York Knicks back in the Big Apple. This is Ralph Willard, their chief scout. Neither one of these teams will be an easy opponent for the Knicks.
Absolutely not, James. Both opponents present different challenges for us and different problems. Cleveland's big lineup with Nance, Daugerthy, and Williams presents a challenge. Naturally, Michael Jordan all by himself presents all kinds of challenges.
Answer the question honestly. Which team would the players like to see?
I don't think they have a preference. The only thing is, Chicago would be a home court advantage.
All right, let's go back over to Dick.
All right, well, Rick Pitino already said they prefer Chicago because of the home court. We can't blame him for that. Scottie Pippen struggling from the field and from the line. We're at the Coliseum in Richfield, Ohio. Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown along with James Brown. Game 5, we're in the 4th quarter, the deciding game of this series. Series is 2-2. Scottie Pippen 2 for 6 from the free throw line, and it's a 3-point Cleveland lead. and Grant. Again, we can't emphasize enough the fact that they're playing with 4 personal fouls.
Well, they're trying to go to Nance on Pippen.
They double team him on the carry, and there is Elo with a 3. Craig Elo, who led Cleveland in a losing cause with 19 in the first game, has hit his second 3-point basket.
See, they had to double team that time, and by doing so, that opened up the ball movement.
Michael Jordan comes back with 2 with under 9 minutes to play. Elo with 16, Harper 16. Price has 21. Nance with 14. He got hot the last 2 games. Knocked away by Hodges. Price kicks it away. Recovers it. Cleveland is hustling well as they have throughout all 5 games. They're going to call Pippen with the foul.
Yeah, it's fouled. You know, you're out there, there's only 2 seconds on the shot clock. As a defensive player, you know that you cannot see the clock, but all you have to do is keep the man outside the top of the circle.
And maybe you can if you look at the other end to see the 24-second clock.
Very difficult to do, old-timer.
4 fouls now on Scottie Pippen, who's struggling today.
Pat O'Brien in New York City with another NBA playoff update. They are trading baskets in Inglewood, California. Magic Johnson there with a shot, a 2-pointer to put the Lakers up by 1, 88-87. Let's now go back to Richfield, Ohio for another shootout. And Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown. Gentlemen, back to you.
All right, Pat, thank you very much. Cleveland out shooting Chicago. Jordan and Price, the leading scorers. Both of them are playing terrific ball today. Elo has come off the bench with 16, including 2 3-point baskets. Hubie, I want to congratulate you because your daughter, Julie, who's been an equestrian performer, has helped the College of Charleston, South Carolina to win the 1989 NCAA Equestrian Championship held in Springfield, Massachusetts. I know you're a very proud guy today.
Well, you know what they say, go Cougars.
Right here, they're shouting, go Cavs. Cleveland has improved on their 3-point shooting today, thanks to Price and Elo. Elo at the baseline, 82-78, a 4-point lead for Cleveland, 8:20 remaining. Elo misses a 3. Grant with the rebound. But you look at the scoreboard and you say Cleveland's doing almost everything right, and Chicago looms right over them like a dark cloud for Cleveland.
Here's your high pick and roll.
Cartwright setting the pick. Jordan gets the roll this time, and Michael Jordan has 33 points.
From now to the end, that play is almost unstoppable. They're getting something good out of it every time.
Or he gets fouled going to the hoop, and you know that Jordan is going to be the king down the line. Good pass, Price to Daugerthy. Blocked by Jordan, rebound by Cartwright. Pippen holds it. Michael Jordan came out of nowhere to swat that short stuff shot attempt by Daugerthy away. 82-80, the Bulls looking to tie it up. Cartwright wants it against Daugerthy. Working inside against Brad, goes up, yes. And the basket counts and a foul. And Bill Cartwright, with a furious move to the basket, has forced Daugerthy into his 4th personal foul, and the Bulls have tied it up.
Now this is NBA pivot play. You're getting the bumping from both people. The drop step, the drop of the shoulder by Cartwright. Watch how he drops that left shoulder, and he clears Daugerthy right out to get that hook up and in.
And the Chicago Bulls fail to take the lead. Their last lead was 17-16 in the first quarter. The game is still tied with 7:25 remaining. Cartwright, though, with 14 big points, has missed just 1 of 6 shots from the field. Deflected by Grant and turns it over. Another fine defensive play by the Bulls. Jordan into the corner is Pippen. Up fake, and Nance wouldn't buy it. Nearly 7 minutes to go, and the Bulls are looking for their first lead since mid-first quarter. Jordan finds an opening. Banks it in, and Michael Jordan with 35, and Lenny Wilkins. Cavaliers, who have led most of the way, now trail by 2.
See, in that situation, the center cannot play Jordan. He just takes it out. He lets him come out and switch, and then he beats him off the dribble.
Chicago is on a 13-3 run. Cartwright and Grant still playing with 4 fouls. Daugerthy misses, and here's Jordan. And Price tries to block his way. Hodges feeding inside. Grant follows it up with the basket. And Chicago is up by 4, and a timeout called by Cleveland. A 15-3 run by the Chicago Bulls, the visitors, has stunned this capacity crowd. Milwaukee beat Atlanta 3-2. Roberts and Pierce, 2 of the heroes. They'll play Detroit 4 out of 7. Winner here goes against the Knicks. Behind the Cavaliers. They haven't always been. They've gotten a little spoiled with the way they have slacked off. They won 57 games, and this is a great franchise, but this is a crucial possession here. Nearly halfway through this fourth period, Harper from the corner, and the rebound by Pippen, and he's fouled by Nance, a loose ball foul against Cleveland. Do you see some of the air coming out of Cleveland's balloon in the last couple of minutes?
Yeah, but Dick, what's happening gives Chicago, you know, primetime stars here for their defensive rotations. They are forcing Cleveland into bad shot opportunities, and then previous to this play, they've been able to get the ball out and make it happen in the open floor.
Pippen has struggled from the free throw line, only 2 for 6. This is the first free throw, but the Bulls have run off 10 in a row since Cleveland led by 6. Now on the foul story, the Cavaliers are already over the limit, and the Bulls have committed only 1 team foul. 87-82, Chicago by 5. Their biggest lead. They haven't seen the lead since midway of the first quarter. Mark Price, trying to bring his team back, is fouled by Hodges, and he'll shoot a pair.
Well, this is the first real good opportunity that Price has had since he came back into the ball game in this fourth quarter.
Doug Collins started the fourth quarter with Grant and Cartwright and 4 fouls, and they're still out there with 4. Mark Price, though, with 22 points, come back and shown today, and in fact in game 4, why he is the player that Lenny Wilkins can least do without. The lead is 3. There's the time remaining in the fourth quarter. Michael Jordan has scored 35 in the game, had 14 at the half. 9 on the shot clock. Pippen. Harper doesn't go for the fake. Nance, good position on the rebound. Harper runs the floor. Foul, basket good. And you know this is where the Cavaliers are toughest, to be when Harper gets out in the open floor and they get him.
Now just watch Harper out in that right lane. He's just a blur. He blew right by the table here, really on the move. And Hodges, the old story, never let a guy get an uncontested layup at this time of the game.
Missed the free throw, Pippen the rebound. So the Bulls still lead by a point.
Foul shot opportunity. Chicago has missed 8, Cleveland 3.
That's a turnaround because Cleveland had struggled from the line in a big way in the first 4 games. They couldn't get it to Cartwright. The ball thrown away and a critical turnover. So the Bulls, with Cleveland, pesky as they are, allowing Cleveland to get a second wind here with nearly 5 minutes remaining in the fourth. And the visiting team win game 5 again. Price. And the rebound by Pippen. Earlier, it was Milwaukee over Atlanta. Here's Grant going against Price, an offensive foul. And more important, that's number 5 on Horace Grant. 1 more and he's gone.
See, that was a tough catch for Grant because as he caught the ball and turned, Mark Price made his defensive commitment. You know, if you're a perfectionist, you'd say, well, Grant should have been looking to pass the ball to the other side because they had a 2-on-1.
Nance guarded by Grant, who has 5. Cartwright playing with 4. 9 on the shot clock. Out to Harper. Harper makes a tough basket because Jordan bumped him, and Cleveland regains the lead as the Cavaliers have scored 6 in a row after trailing by 5. 4:15 to go. Jordan is clobbered by Harper, and that'll be the third on Harper. The Cavaliers have been in the penalty.
See, now watch on this catch as Grant goes for the fake, see, and he steps. All he had to do when he made that catch and turn, if he saw the daylight, that pass should have gone to the right, and they would have had the layup, because in the NBA, you do not get that charge away from the ball.
Here's Michael with 35.
Now, you know, we cannot emphasize this enough. The Chicago Bulls are an excellent foul shooting team, 78% club, and they have already missed 9 today.
One out of 2 for Jordan. Tied at 88 with 4:12 to go. The Bulls still have 1 foul to give. Harper, good perimeter passing. Jordan gets the rebound, bumped by Daugerthy, and a timeout called by Chicago, and a smart one, as Jordan was sandwiched.
They want a 20-second timeout, Dick.
At the conclusion of the game, Hubie Brown and I will select the Miller Lite Player of the Game, and in conjunction with the award, Light Beer will present a check in the amount of $1,000 in the player's name to the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. And now the Bulls have called a full timeout. 3:57 on the clock, all even in games 2.
Let's take a look at Michael Jordan on the foul line. We realize that he's missed some big ones today, but you notice how he is off the foul line area. He's almost back about a foot from the foul line. And it's interesting because we have never seen him do that before.
The Chicago Bulls last year lost to Detroit in 5 games in the conference semifinals. They had not gotten beyond the first round in 3 previous playoff appearances. The Cavs got to the Eastern Finals way back in '76, 13 years ago, and since then 4 times they've been out in the first round. Someone will advance today with 3:57 to go, tied at 88. Cavaliers are already in the penalty, and the Bulls have 1 foul to give. It's Pippen, Grant, Jordan, Hodges, and Cartwright for Chicago. Elo, Harper, Price, Nance, Daugerthy for the Cavaliers. Jordan with 36 leads Chicago. 23 for Price. Jordan now with 38. That breaks the tie. Everything's critical from here on in. Everything.
There comes Cartwright on that double team. Now Cleveland will rotate the ball. The other side of the ball is wide open.
Nance traveled, and you know, when you have 2 big people hovering over Nance, and Cartwright 7-1 made it tough for him to see that.
Well, it's interesting that they're using Cartwright, and the reason for that being that Daugerthy is standing at the top of the circle.
Jordan puts up his index finger. Play number 1. Goes through everyone and misses the layup. Daugerthy the rebound. Harper. And it'll be a 2-shot foul as Hodges thought he was on the ball, but Jack Madden was right there. So Ron Harper will go to the line to shoot 2. Both teams now in the penalty, and a chance for the Cavaliers to tie the score with that much time remaining.
Very impressed with that pass by Mark Price to be able to see that in traffic, throw the ball at least 40 feet and hit Harper right on a dead run.
So here's Ron Harper, who today is 2 for 3 from the line.
You'll see Price looking up the floor and a cross-section pass there. Little diagonal.
21 for Price, 23 for Price, 21 for Harper. He makes them both. And we have another tie at 90.
From now to the end, it'll be interesting to see if they release Harper every time a shot goes up by the Chicago Bulls.
And if Chicago can get back and stay with him. Jordan down the middle, lays it in, the basket good, and a foul. So Michael Jordan breaks the tie and can give the Bulls a 3-point lead with 2:48 on the clock.
Just watch how Michael Jordan splits 3 people here and goes right to the glass. And it's interesting that they're not going for the shot block.
Harper's 4th personal foul. And in and out. So it's 92-90 as Jordan again having a tough day from the line. 40 points for Michael Jordan. 92-90. Price off a screen. Here's Elo, spots up for a 3. He's got it. Cleveland by 1.
What a game he's put together today. He's been the free man on the opposite side of the ball all day, and he has looked and he's taken the shot.
19 points for Elo, playing on a sprained ankle. Getting close to the 2-minute mark. Hodges fires up a 3. Cartwright tips it in. A big play by Bill Cartwright. Talk about playing big. And now it's Chicago by 1 with 2 minutes to go.
In case you're wondering, both teams are in the penalty.
And both teams have plenty of timeouts remaining. Hodges fights through the pick. Price fires it up. Rebound, Cartwright. Hodges, good defense that time, fighting around the pick on Price. But now Chicago. Jordan fakes out Elo. Hodges open in the corner. And Grant collides with Nance, and Grant may have fouled out of this one. It is on Horace Grant, and he's gone with his 6th personal foul.
He's going to be missed. We're talking about, never mind the point factor.
Rebound.
He's averaging 15 rebounds a game in this playoff series.
And down the stretch in a game like this, you need the best rebounders you can get. Brad Sellers will replace him in the lineup. And Grant goes out having scored 12 points and 5 rebounds. So now Sellers, who is from Warrensville Heights, Ohio, right in this neighborhood and starred at Ohio State and was one of the Big Ten's top rebounders, now has the pressure on him. You see a lot of timeouts left for both. Cleveland's free throw shooting has been terrific. The Lakers have opened up an 8-point lead over the Seattle Sonics in game 1 of their series. Nance, 6 for 7 from the line. And now Cleveland has the lead and a timeout called by Chicago. All right, UB, 95-94 Cleveland.
Well, if I'm Lenny Wilkins, I cannot continue to allow Michael Jordan to come off of any pick-and-roll situation without outright trapping him and forcing Michael to give up the basketball. Right now, the stepping out in the semi-switch is being broken down because Michael is so clever with the basketball. It'll be interesting now, though, to see if Doug gives Michael the ball in a clear-out situation from the wing or from the top of the circle.
40 points for Michael Jordan. Every possession.
There's your clear out.
There's the clear out. Elo guarding Jordan. Double teamed by Rollins. 8 on the shot clock. Jordan now funneled to the middle, and Scottie Pippen fires a 3 and hits with 1 second on the clock. Scottie Pippen hits a big 3-point basket. And remember, last year, Pippen was the hero along with Jordan in the deciding game at Chicago Stadium to give the Bulls the victory. And a timeout called by the Cavaliers. Pippen only 4 for 13 today, Hubie Brown, but he has hit the biggest basket of the series for him.
Notice the presence of mind of Michael Jordan with the clock down. He knows the clock is almost out, and he'd be able to hit the free man. But in the strategy of Chicago, every time that Michael comes down into that painted area, he knows that he has Hodges in one corner and Pippen in the other. So if that defense tries to double back to pick him up, he's constantly looking for the three-point outlet.
And that's exactly what happened in the first game of the series when Hodges and Pippen camped in the corner, and when they did that to Jordan, they hit the threes. They hit 7 of them, as you mentioned. There's the timeout story. Cleveland has 3 full timeouts. Chicago 2 full and a 20.
Now here, both teams are shooting the penalty.
And have been for quite a while. Winding down to a minute to go. Jordan is on Harper. Daugerthy is playing up on top. 2-point lead for Chicago, 97-95. Harper leaves it for Elo, goes for 3 and Craig Elo is having a career game today. 4 3 three-point baskets gives the Cavaliers a 98-97 lead. That's his second three-point hoop in the last minute and a half. Jordan didn't get fouled at the baseline. Good Cleveland defense. There's the clock. 19 on the shot clock. And a one-point Cleveland lead.
The thing you do not want to do now is foul. The most important thing is to get them to miss the shot.
Nance puts it up. Misses the shot. Who gets the rebound? It's Chicago's ball. It's out of bounds off of Elo. And Chicago will call a timeout with 19 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. High drama here at Richfield Coliseum in the fifth and deciding game of this series.
Well, this is the shot where Nance takes it up, and here we have just massive bodies going. And ball was definitely off Elo on that possession.
So it's going to be Chicago ball with 19 seconds to go, trailing by one. Guess who may get the ball? We have had three-point drama here in the final minutes of the game. With 3:57 to go, the Cavaliers and the Bulls were tied at 88. Scottie Pippen hit a three-pointer. Elo answered that with a three. But following the turnover, or the loose ball, it's Chicago's ball. The ball is in Chicago's court, so to speak, to try to win it with a basket.
Well, a big win by the Lakers, pulling it out in the last quarter. Chicago taking the ball at the opposite end of the floor. See, what that does is that gives you, it straightens out your defense, and it does not allow you the half court being able not to play the guy out of bounds and possibly force a turnover. They have plenty of time to get it in bounds and get it up the floor. Chicago has a 20-second timeout and a regular timeout.
Pippen brings it across, defended by Harper. 11 seconds to go.
In the middle of the floor.
Jordan has it. And Jordan puts up a jumper and hits with 6 seconds to go. Jordan hits the basket and now has 42 points in the game, and the Cavaliers have called a timeout. They have one timeout remaining, and Michael Jordan, who was not an impressive shooter at all in the first half, has 28 points in the second half, including these two big ones to give Chicago the lead. Now, Elo was hit in the face, but that might have been just incidental contact.
Yeah, but it came off of the shoulder as he was defending Michael Jordan. Now, Michael just elevated on that. There was no way he could get up. Elo, remember what we said, he's given him 22 points today. He's given him tough defense, but he does have a bad ankle. And the fact that he's been able to do all this is sensational.
It's been an exciting, thrilling day of NBA playoff basketball here on CBS. Milwaukee upset Atlanta in Atlanta to capture that first-round series 3-2. The Lakers had a struggle, but ended up beating Seattle to take a 1-0 lead in their West Conference semifinal. That's best of 7. But now we come down to 6 seconds to go. Cleveland trailing Chicago 99-98. I want to welcome the audience that saw the Lakers win. 6 seconds to go. This tells it all. Cleveland has the ball. Not only does Cleveland have a strategy, what do you think Doug Collins' strategy on defense is?
Well, Doug is telling his guys right now, it'll be interesting, first of all, if they play the guy out of bounds and put pressure there. Cleveland has one timeout remaining. When you're in a defensive situation right now, what you try to do is switch out on every screen and deny the pass.
It has been a scintillating finish, 3-point baskets. Elo has hit 2 3-pointers in the last 2 minutes. Pippen hit a clutch 3, and Michael Jordan has scored 6, including a basket with 6 seconds to go to give Chicago the lead. Any idea who might get the ball in this situation?
Well, you can see that Price is going down below, so that means that they are going to run him off either one of baseline screens, either by Nance or by Daugerthy.
Elo will inbound. He gets it into Nance, gets the ball back, drives to the hoop, and lays it in with 3 seconds to go. Two injured Warriors, Elo with an ankle, Price with an injured groin, have played the games of their lives, considering the importance this afternoon. Elo with 22 points, Price with 23, and now Chicago has 3 seconds to try to win it.
In the NBA, the most dangerous man is the guy out of bounds. And here this is a give and go. They ran Price off the down screens. He came up the middle. It was all a decoy. That pass went right into Nance, and we had the man from out of bounds. That's why at the end of NBA games, when you are down 3, you are always worried about the guy out of bounds throwing in, stepping in, and getting a return pass.
That's what happened. And Craig Elo, who has scored 15 points here in the 4th quarter, has played big in the big period, the biggest of the season for the Cavaliers. And 3 seconds remain. Chicago, with the timeout now, has only a 20. Cleveland has 1 timeout left. Now, how will Cleveland defend Jordan?
Well, the problem is that you only have 3 seconds, and we're not talking about a lifetime here. The main thing is that you have got to be able to get the ball, and many times you use a decoy in here, just like they used Price in that last situation. No one thought that that ball would go in and they would come back to a streaking player. Now, in Doug Collins' situation, the one thing that you always have to be cognizant of is a possible lob pass to somebody going away from the other side of where the ball is. That's number 1.
Sellers, the 7-footer, will inbound. He's got Cartwright, Jordan, Hodges, and Pippen. They're all spread out. And now Lenny Wilkins, seeing what alignment Doug Collins came up with, has called his last timeout. The Cavaliers have no more timeouts left and will be back for the thrilling finish. Here's our story here at Richfield Coliseum. One of these teams will advance to the Eastern Conference semifinals against the New York Knicks. It has been a thrilling game from the start. The Cavaliers have used their last timeout after they checked Chicago's alignment. The Bulls have 3 seconds to try a shot and try to win the game. You'll see the drama unfold.
The big thing here is that you jam the passer, or you put a lot of pressure on the man. Now, Nance is laying off him right now, but watch to see if he runs at the ball or he picks up the cutters coming to the ball.
Sellers will inbound. Sellers has Jordan. Jordan with 2 seconds to go, puts it up and scores at the buzzer. Michael Jordan has won it for Chicago. Michael Jordan hit the basket at the buzzer as a disconsolate Lenny Wilkins leaves the floor. And for the 2nd time today, the visiting team has won the deciding game in an opening round series, and the Chicago Bulls will move on to play the New York Knicks in the best of 7. Right now, let's go right over to JB with Michael Jordan.
Michael, now, I thought you weren't supposed to be feeling so well coming into today's game.
You know, a lot of people put a lot of pressure on me, and you know, I still couldn't concentrate and make my free throws, but I didn't have to take a free throw in the last shot. It was a shot. I felt comfortable. We came in, we stuck tough. We hung right in there, gave ourselves a chance to win, and we won the ball game.
As we take a look at this replay, now you're not one to do an awful lot of boasting, but you had some boasts to make to a few Chicago writers about this series.
A lot of people put us out of this whole series, and you know, I opened my mouth a little bit, and I challenged the guys. I challenged myself and said we could win in 4, but we didn't win in 4. We won in 5. I don't care how many we won in, we won, and that's all that counts.
My last question. There's a pregame ritual that you go through. You're back in the locker room by yourself. There's a song that plays, and you said that was going to be your theme. What's that song that you listen to?
Anita Baker, Give It Your Best. Just go out and give it your all. And that's what I did. I felt that, you know, we had to go out and play. You know, the pressure was not on us, it was on them. We've beaten them here before. We just wanted to duplicate that again, and we did it.
And the Big Apple waits for you.
We're going to New York, baby.
All right, and the song was called by Anita Baby. Giving it the best that you can. Let's go over to Dick Stockton.
What a fantastic game in what you would expect a deciding game to be. Our Miller Lite player of the game, Michael Jordan, 44 points, 30 in the second half, including the game winner at the buzzer, and the lead with 6 seconds to go before Elo scored the hoop. Elo with 24, a tremendous performance. And Light Beer is proud to present a check for $1,000 on behalf of Michael Jordan to the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. So let's see the playoff alignment next week on CBS. At 1 o'clock Eastern, it'll be the Knicks at Chicago at the stadium, followed by Phoenix at Golden State. And we have a doubleheader on Sunday as well. Game 4 of the Knicks at Chicago, followed by either Detroit at Milwaukee or LA at Seattle. You won't see a more exciting game. So for Hubie Brown, James Brown, and Pat O'Brien, this is Dick Stockton saying so long from the Richfield Coliseum. The final score, the Chicago Bulls advance 101-100, beating the Cleveland Cavaliers.
CBS.